Hey guys, what's up? This is Heavy Metal Magazine, issue number 272. And it doesn't say what month and year it's from. I have no idea what month and year it's from. The only clue that I have to when this is from and when this came out is the fact that it's $7.95, which means it's probably in the early 2000s when this came out. Also, I don't know why it's not in like really good condition. And this is like, if this is in the 2000s, I've got heavy metal issues of Heavy Metal Magazine that are like from the 80s and 90s that are in great condition. They're like perfectly new condition. And for some reason, this one's a little bit like, kind of like worn or whatever. I don't think I wore it out that much. I didn't think I read it that much, so I don't know. And I love this cover. Like, it comes with this like great cover. It was this dude on the cover. And yeah, I'll tell you, like, it's a beautiful picture. It's a nice action shot of a like medieval fantasy like woman warrior fighting a giant snake. That is freaking incredible. The guy that did this cover it does say inside like who it was. It's even signed on the front, like the dude, like there's actually a signature there, which is the first time I've ever seen an actual signature on the front. And the guy that did it, his name is Ron Leary, who I've never heard of, but it says next to it, Astrud, How to Slay a Snake. And I guess that's his story or whatever it is. And he's sticking to it. No, I don't know. It's just Ron Leary, that's the guy who did it. And so looking through the content, the only people I really recognize is a story called Julia and Roham, and it's by Enki Bilal. Enki Bilal is really cool, and I really liked him in this magazine in the 80s. He really put some really good stuff. It was this woman, and she was blue, and she had blue hair, and it's like, there were these like also these weird Egyptian gods in it, and they were characters in the comic, and it was like Horus, the god, Egyptian god Horus, and stuff like that. And yeah, so Enki Bilal, and I was looking at the art, and I was like, oh, this is nice art. And I'll show you some of the art in Enki Bilal. He's really, really good. He's got great art and a great story. Oh, now I recognize him. That's Enki Bilal, not the drawing, but the guy that drew the panels. It's pretty cool. I mean, I like the story, the way the art looks enough to really like take an interest and you know, whatever, like see and just like read the whole comic. It doesn't look like there's a lot to read, but there's a lot of art to look at, which is nice. And this issue has actually a lot of different comics by a lot of different people. You know, this is pretty cool. It's just like, it doesn't look like there's a lot happening, but I like the artwork. And so I'm just like, I really do want to read it because I just want to know like what's going on in this story. Because when the artwork is good, you're like, you kind of like want to know what's up with it. Not a lot of content, but nice. It's nice to see like artwork like that. And the next story, like, it looks weird. It says like Kulin or something like that. And I don't really get what's happening in the front. It just looks like kind of like maybe like a pumpkin thing, and like it's got those Halloween colors and stuff, like, you know, orange and brown, sort of like. Yeah, this is some crazy shit going on with this one. I love it. Look at that. The screaming sorceress holding an orb of light with like girls inside the orbs. That's pretty cool. And like more I don't know what the hell's going on. This is the kind of comic you have to kind of read. But the artwork is cool. It's like it's good. It's action. It's things going on, you know? And it's like it's like really worth reading. If you're gonna make a comic, you have to say things with the artwork as well as with the story. Because if you're not gonna like focus on the artwork, then just write a story and don't worry about making it a comic. And if you're just not gonna focus on the story at all, then don't worry about making a comic and just make a piece of art and leave it as a painting. It doesn't have to be a comic if you don't want it to be a comic, right? I love this one. This is actually cool. I like there's a lot going on in there. I don't even know what's going on in there, but it looks cool. Lots of action, lots of magical lights and stuff and swirls and snakes and whatever. you know, like screaming freaking monsters and like apes and whatever. It's so cool. Oh, I like this one. This one looks nice. This is like classic heavy metal magazine. Like, it's nice to see, like, because like for a while, it was a big bummer that heavy metal magazine, like their content wasn't good for a while. For like a span of like a good solid 10 years, like their content was not good. Anywhere like around between like the 2000s to 2010s and stuff like that. And just recently, just about like 5 years ago or so, Grant Morrison took over as the editor-in-chief or whatever, and the stuff just became a lot better. I think Grant Morrison's the right person for the job. It's just like, this is right up his alley and stuff. And yeah, that's the end of that one. And then like the next one is also weird. It's called The Age. And this one, I don't know. This one looks a little bit like, it's kind of like cartoony, and maybe it's like funny or something like that. I don't know. The artwork doesn't look engaging to me. Like, I'll just look at this and be like, I don't really care about the story too much, because it just looks like, what the hell, you know? It could be a good story, you know. Sometimes I might enjoy something like this, but I don't know, just from looking at that. Then the next one looks pretty cool. This one's called Red Sails. There's a lot of them. They're all very, very short stories, which is nice, because like if you like something, it's too short. But if you don't like something, then it's short enough that you can just go on to the next one. And, you know, that's what I like about this magazine. It's just like, yeah, you don't like something, it's just like going on to the next one. Don't worry about it too much. There's usually a lot of content in this. This is some crazy shit. Sometimes it's like, it's just crazy shit in here. You know, most of the time it's not, but you know what? This is coming from the minds of people who not only like heavy metal magazine, but also write for heavy metal magazine. And, you know, it's one thing to publish it. It's another thing to create stories for it. You gotta have a certain kind of state of mind to make appropriate stories. And sometimes they just go overboard, and there's always crazy shit going on. This is cool. It's like a demon. This looks a lot like the John Constantine, like something, what's going on with that. That's pretty cool. Demon being summoned and whatever. And also there's like next to it, which I didn't even notice right away, just a lot of text, which is weird. Like, I don't know why they do that. It's a comic book magazine. Why the hell do you have text? Why do you have like, and it's like, yeah, so instead of like, okay, so what they're doing is sort of like they're not doing a comic book exactly, but they're sort of doing a comic book, where they're doing like a page of text and a page of art. And I could see that working. I could see, like, you know, one page of art and then a page of text. And what's weird about the art, though, is the guy's wearing a heavy metal t-shirt. So I don't know. You don't know what's happening in it until you read it. You know, and I don't know, I'd like more art with my comic book magazine, but whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's still good. Sometimes the writing is good. Who knows, right? This is cool. Look at this artwork. Damn, look at these demons. Shit, that's really, really cool. And this one's Dan Chudzinski and a gallery. Nice. I really like it when they do this. I dig when they do this. This is really cool. They do a gallery. Oh, this is interesting. Look, professional tiger trainer and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Really? That? Is it the picture? It could be a Ninja Turtle or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting that Ninja Turtles are in the magazine, because Kevin Eastman did a lot of Ninja Turtles. And I don't know, like, he did this magazine and he also did Ninja Turtles. And Ninja Turtles was like really a lot more lucrative than this. It's just more, they're more popular than Heavy Metal Magazine is, you know. But I don't know, it's a totally different thing. Like, Ninja Turtles is for kids. I guess you can grow up with it. I guess if you watched it as a kid, you'll probably still like it or whatever. But Heavy Metal Magazine is like different. I mean, it's not Ninja Turtles at all. So, but they, you know, I can understand why they have Ninja Turtles, because, you know, Kevin Eastman does both. Nice. These are actually like statues of this dude who makes statues. I've seen this stuff. It's wild. It's wild. This is an interesting Deviant Strain. I took a quick look at this one, and it's zombies. I was like, what is this about? It's zombies, yeah. It's like I was just like flipping through it, and damn, this is weird. It's some kind of a. You open up and it's like this black and white ink and pen and ink panels, and then it goes back into the zombies. I don't even know why they really like mix this up by like they put like one comic, they put another one next to it, and then another one next to it. You know, it's actually pretty good mixed up because that's how they made the movie. Also, they put like a bunch of different short movies into one long movie. They like Heavy Metal the Motion Picture was over around an hour and a half or 2 hours long, like the size of a movie, like a cinematic feature. But then there were like 8 or 9 or whatever stories in it, and if you look at that, it's like each story was like 20 minutes, you know, so it's like a whole bunch of short stories, and then with one like concept to tie it all together, which was the Lochnar, you know, the green globe that was evil and stuff like that. And everybody wanted it, but it would kill anyone who possessed it, even though everyone wanted to possess it. You know, it was a crazy concept. And that movie, you have to watch it like several times to understand what the hell is going on. But once you see like that, once you see zombies, you're like, okay, I get it. Deviant strain, zombies, yeah. So this is the zombie one. But it's pretty cool that this is weird, like there's like daggers and women in like, I don't know, bikinis and whatever, lingerie. Yeah, that. And each like story in this one is interesting because they really mix it up sometimes. Sometimes they make long stories, and sometimes they'll do like something like this where like each story is like a few pages long and then it goes on to the next one, which is okay, but you know, like a good story should be longer. And I can understand like, you know, I guess like, look, the length of a story, how long should a story be? It should be long enough to tell the story that you want to tell, right? If you have more of a story to tell, it should be longer. But if it's like a quick thing, then it could be shorter. It's pretty cool. But when they mix it up, it just looks like really, like the artwork is mixed up. It looks a little bit, like it goes from one art style to another one. And they do have like in the contents, it did look like there were like 20 different artists in this. This is pretty cool. I like this one. This looks like a sorcerer kind of vibe going on. Like this guy looks like some kind of wicked sorcerer. That looks like some kind of wicked magic spell and going on, which is nice. It's nice to see like sorcerers and magic spells. Everyone likes those. Like floating sorcerers, magic spells, blah, look at that, all this stuff happening. Nice art, like a lot of action, you know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't have to look Michelangelo, okay? It's just a comic book. But if it's got action and it's got color and it's got expression and it looks like something that you're like, what is that? What's happening in that panel? I want to know what this is about. And you read it, that's what it's there for. You know, it doesn't have to look, you know, old masters. It doesn't have to look Renaissance. You know, like it's hard to back in the day, you know, like artists could devote all of their time to making paintings, and they would make one kind of painting like and focus on that. And in the common day, and nowadays it's like artists make, like some artists will still make that one thing and they get really good at what they're doing. But other artists, they do commercial stuff and they do like illustration and they do other stuff and they do content with this and that. And they get like commissions to do this and that and book covers and comic book strips. And, you know, it's just like, it's a little bit harder for them to really work on their craft and get really good at doing one kind of artwork. And that's why like medieval, Renaissance artwork in museums is so good, because these guys were just doing it all day. And in modern life, like people get distracted. You know, there was no TV back then, no computers, no social media, nothing distracting. There was just, you know, there was nothing distracting. It was just like you can focus in on what you wanted to do. If you wanted to make artwork and you really want to focus it and make it great, you did. You focused on it, you did it. And in modern days, there's just too many distractions. It's hard to do that because people that do artwork, they'll spend maybe a few hours a day on it if they're professionals, right? Where back in the day, they would like, who knows how many hours that they spent, like all day long, every day, This is cool. This is interesting. Just robots and shit. Like sentient, like robots. I like this though. It reminds me of that movie with that robot that was like, he was AI and he was smart and he was like, I forgot what the movie was, but it was like this Australian, like everyone was Australian in the movie and the movie was kind of Australian and stuff like that. And it was about a robot who was like sort of like alive. Like he was an actual person, but he was a robot. And it was his story and stuff like that. And it was like the first sentient robot in the world. And he was an actual person and he was treated like a robot even though he was a person. But because he was made like from robot parts, that people didn't see them as a person, they saw him as a machine. Which is like crazy, but it was a really good movie. And that's what this reminds me of, this kind of like, intelligent robots and stuff like that. Can you imagine, like, a robot who's alive and intelligent and aware and people just look at him like, oh, it's just a robot, just a machine, and treat him like he's not even freaking, like not even alive and just like a, bunch of nuts and bolts. Horrible. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. There's some good stuff in here. Like, yeah. This art is pretty good. I mean, it looks interesting. It looks like you might want to like check it out and see what the hell is going on in this. I still want to know like what year this issue came out. And I don't know like for why. What I do like what they did with this magazine, they kept trying new stuff. And that's how you do it. I mean, you gotta keep trying good new stuff. Like, look at Marvel. They've been doing the same stuff over and over and over again because it works. Because people buy their magazines, they read the stories, But it's the same stuff. There's nothing new in the story. Hero, like superhero, supervillain. The villain does something wicked. The hero stops him. Hero wins every time. The villain loses every time, or maybe the villain wins a little bit, but then ends up losing anyway, because that's what. And it's like the same thing, and it's like, it's just like, it's like, come on. This is kind of cool. I take this moth and whatever. I don't know. What do you think of this art? Interesting stuff. Just things happening in there. Yeah. Kind of weird. It's called Moth, and it's about this guy, and he looks like he's a moth. Well, he looks like a bug or something with like long bug arms and shit. I don't know. Weird. He does look like a bug. This is cool. Okay, so this is they have like another gallery, which I love their galleries. But this is a interesting piece about. This is by Rebecca Yanovskaya, and Rebecca Yanovskaya is a fantasy artist who specializes. She does artwork in ballpoint pen, which I don't know how she paints in ballpoint pen, but she does, and she comes out with work like this. Now, the thing is, there's two Rebecca Yanovskayas. They're both fine artists, right? And this one, it has ballpoint pen, but it also has like gold leaf. All the gold stuff is gold leaf, and I'm pretty sure if this says, I mean, I don't know. Oh yeah. This is the one with the ballpoint pen because, this is the one because I met her at EluxCon. Because it does mention here Infected by Art, which is an EluxCon book. It's an art book that has contents of people that showed their art in EluxCon, and also has Imagine Effects, which is it's only for like fantasy artists. So fine artists wouldn't have Infected by Art or Imagine Effects or any of this stuff. So so this is basically all pen and ink, and I think it's amazingly done. I think it's really nicely done. When you look at it, it's like, it's nice, right? And but it's a drawing and it's pen, but it's pen and ink. But when you look at it as like, and when you know that it's like ballpoint pen, you're like, how is it even? It doesn't look like ballpoint pen. Like when you draw a ballpoint pen, you get these like ink lines. But I guess she knows how to paint with it or something. Really, I guess like you can use any tool once you get used to it. But I like these. These are pretty cool. I like her stuff. Yeah. I remember like meeting her at a LuxCon and like she was kind of salesy. Like she was trying to like sell her stuff. Like she was just trying to like sell her art and stuff like that. Which I don't blame her because that's what people were there for. I mean, you go, you buy a table for hundreds of dollars, you bring all of your art. You book a room at the hotel. And then you have to stand there for like 6 hours, just like in the behind your table, and talk to all the people that come by and stuff like that, and show them your artwork, and hopefully they'll buy some prints or originals or whatever. And she was like really, really salesy, which is nice, which is okay. But a lot of people at the LuxCon place, they were just like chatty, they were like hanging out and stuff like that. And some of them were salesy. I guess they were just really focused on, I just want to sell my art. But most of the people were just like, yeah, we're just artists, and then we're, you can buy it if you want, but we're here to hang out and have a good time, So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. But she was like, pretty serious about selling her art, which is nice. Hey, she got into the magazine, right? I'm kind of surprised because her stuff isn't that heavy metal, but it is kind of heavy metal. I mean, yeah. I didn't know she was in heavy metal. I totally like, wow. I always feel like, hey, you've made it when you're in heavy metal magazine. This is kind of cool. This one's called Wisdom. It's just like, the woman figure drawing and then owls in the back. I like that. I love owls. Owls are so cool. And I love like cool figure drawings also, which is nice. There's a bunch of stuff. Reaper, Death. Yeah. Here's something cool. Like here's a page on treat yourself to something special. And it says Ray Bradbury, right? One is Ray Bradbury, An Illustrated Life, The Crow, Broken Lives and Shattered Dreams, and Meta Horror, right? Meta Horror and The Crow. The Crow is like, that's an actual book from The Crow, from the movie. Oh, this is cool. This is sort of like a heavy metal tribute kind of thing going on this page. Like the last like story is just like sort of like a heavy metal thing. Like it says Pantera, Black Sabbath. Oh, it says Slayer, Jethro Tull, Metallica, Pantera, Led Zeppelin. It's not just heavy metal. It's like rock music basically. And wow, the story's like Enzo Rizzi, art by Nathan Ramirez. But it's so like metal. Look at this fucking picture. That guy is so metal. Black Sabbath pig in the back. Damn, it's like a rock frickin' comic, a rock thing. I like how they did it. Like this looks good in black and white. It looks good in pen and ink. It's got that sort of like shadow and light feel to it. And the guy like with the guitar looks like some kind of like heavy metal demon. Looks nice. Just like, it's cool. That this is something I'd love to read, find out what the hell is going on in this. I always like look at it and like, you see the art and the art looks nice and you're like, yeah, I kind of want to read this and stuff like that. Like, it was like, should I, it's like when the art looks good and then you just really, really want to read it. Damn. And yeah, it's like more of this. It's pretty cool art. And I don't know what else is going on with this. All kinds of shit happening. Like they're playing guitar, but then there's like handguns and shit going on. Demons with like guns and stuff. This dude, whatever he is. Yeah. Weird. Yeah. I don't know, it's got that sort of weird vibe, like, yeah, drinking like a wine or some kind of like liquor and then dropping it. Sitting on a chair and drinking some kind of liquor and then dropping it. And this one, I guess that wasn't the last one. There's this one. And I don't even know. These are pretty cool. I like this kind of weird artwork. Yeah. I don't know. Oh yeah. Nudity. Can't show it. Okay, wait. Okay. And yeah, I like this actually. This is pretty cool. This is like the last page. And this is like heavy metal, the guitar. Isn't that cool? That shit. Heavy metal, the guitar. Limited edition, LTD, heavy metal. LTD is the kind of guitar it is. ESP guitars, and with the heavy metal like painting on the front, which is cool. I really like it when people like paint guitars and cars and, you know, sports cars and make it look really cool. In the back, one of the Rebecca Yanovskaya paintings, which is nice. I really like these. It's pretty cool. Nice. Yeah. Heavy metal. Nice. This is pretty cool. I like the front though. Like the front one is really cool. That is nice. That is classic fantasy art. You know, that is classic fantasy art. The girl with the battle axe, with the fighting the giant monster snake. Nice. Yeah, man. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. I hope you dug the magazine too. Comment in the comments if you want. Yeah, if you're whatever you're thinking, and like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in another video later.